Hello. Morning and all that. It's probably going to be a bit of a quicker here because I've only got 7 pallets that I'm delivering in West Brom. It's only down the road. Yes, I'm back off my little bit of a break I've had. Tired. And the reason why I'm tired is because I didn't really sleep very well last night for some unknown reason. Probably the anxiety of knowing how I'll come back to fucking work. That's more than likely the problem. Today I've got this particular phone for my works phone, which is that one. Seems like I've got 2 of them, and that's the other one. Seems to be the better of the 2. I've got these are the phones I picked up off the car boot, by the way. The couple of quid versions, like, just to see what's what. This one is it's an old Nokia, right? And the weight of it is ridiculous. It weighs a fucking honestly. If you drop that on your toe, right, you black your nail. But it's that type, which is quite cool, and with a quirky keyboard on it and what have you. I mean, this is nuts. I wonder how much one of those would have cost back in the day. But I've been messing around with it to see what's on it, and I managed to actually get it activated, because a lot of these phones I've got, because they've been left off and the batteries have gone dead, it's been taking a while for them to actually kick back in. Did I bring another one with me? Was it? Let's just have a quick check. I'll take that out there. That's how I go anyway. No, I think that's it. Now I brought that one. Yeah, that's the only one else I brought. That's the only other one I brought with me. I brought. Yeah, that thing. And I think this one. But now I can't remember, because I have got quite a few of them here, because I've been searching the internet as well for the data cables for these phones, because I've got a couple of Samsung ones as well, but the Samsungs have got 2 different sockets. They look similar, but one's slightly bigger than the other one. So I've got the one, and I was able to get into that phone and find some weird and wonderful shit, and I found just a couple of bits and bobs in there. The one that I have had pictures in there of what have you. I found audio clips that somebody's actually physically, I think it was out of that phone actually, they physically recorded themselves with whoever they was with, and it's all about singing, and there was playing music in the background, and there was chatting away, and there's and I heard them saying, well, you see, when she wins the X Factor, she'll buy her a big house and you can live in the West Wing. I'm thinking, good grief. So obviously wanting to know when this conversation took place, I had a quick look, and it says the beginning of the year 2010, so that's how long ago it was. A lot of these things that I've been finding, like on certain phones, has been the themes that they've downloaded for all the phones themselves. There's a shitload of them on one of them. A couple of images, music. I've got a few albums of music on some of these phones I've found. I was quite surprised on how many I've found with the SD card still in them. So, and the original, well, they're not that type of card. They didn't actually call it an SD. They called it a memory stick. So it's the original memory stick version, if you like. Those square type ones, not the ones that the T-flashes they're called now. There's a couple of half a gig ones, a couple of gig ones, and they're starting to mount up. You know what I mean? But it's quite surprising, really, that all these phones that I've picked up, which I've got a bunch of Ericssons, I've got a couple of Nokias, I've got a couple of Samsungs, and it is rather surprising and what's left on them. I mean, it does beg the question, were these just given away, sold, or were they actually stolen at one point? There's a possibility, you just don't know. And yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's also fascinating as well, and you can see what people were up to all those years ago. I am waiting, because I bought a cable. It's for an Ericsson. It's for a T630 model. The phone itself, for its age, is in reasonably good condition. I didn't bring it with me, I've left it at home, but it's dead as a door now. But I do remember that even with the plug that sits in the bottom of it, there are two different wired versions. They're the same, but they're wired differently. The one that I've managed to get hold of, I think, is wired the wrong way, so it won't charge the phone up. So I have ordered one that's specifically for the T630. So hopefully, with a bit of luck, when that comes, it might wake that up. But it does take a long time if the batteries have been dead for a while for them to start to, you know, breathe some life into them. I mean, with this particular one here, this one, what I had to do was take the battery out of it and physically attach the charging wires to the terminals of the battery. And you're thinking to yourself, well, how did you manage that, James? Well, it was a bit of a hit and miss with that type of thing. What I did was I stuck it on the charging with the, obviously, positive negative. Nothing seemed to really happen. So now I'm thinking, well then, why is it that these batteries have always got 3 or 4 terminal points? And that's when my brain turned on, thinking, well, hang on a minute, if you've got negative, right, and the phone's working while you're using it and you charge at the same time, that stands to reason that it must be charging through one point but then being used out of another point. Do you get what I'm getting on that one? Yeah, so that's pretty much what I assumed, that the middle terminal, because obviously it was labelled positive negative or negative positive, whichever way, the middle one must have been the charging point. So the negative would stay where it is, but positive would then be moved over when you plug it in to connect the circuit to actually charge the battery. And sure enough, it did. And once that one had got full of life, I shoved it back in the phone, and hey presto, it jumped into life. And it was and since I've done that, it actually then allows you to charge it up through the charging point. So it just must have been that dead, it just wouldn't even activate the charge on the phone. It was just like basically brute force charging in a sense, I suppose. But yeah, it's fun. I've enjoyed it, along with the reinstalling of Windows on that laptop that my nephew's girlfriend gave me. That was a bit of fun. I've already put that on Facebook though, haven't I? Put all the stuff on that I've done. It did take a long time. Most of my holiday, realistically, it was only the last couple of days that I'd actually had it up and running fully. So yeah, it was a long, tedious journey, but it's now up to date. It's running Windows 10 Home Edition, and it's activated as well. So. And that's going through the Microsoft way. I didn't actually, I wasn't able to go through the settings on the computer that says, features for 8.1, because I'd got from 8 to 8.1. I tried that, loaded in the activation key that I've got, but it still refused it. So then I went on to Microsoft's site, into their download section, and went that way around. And then just downloaded the tools, and away we went like. And it's apparently that is the only realistic way you can go. And what it does is, once it's downloaded and done its thing, it then converts the key that you've already got into the actual key for that operating system, which is quite cool. Which means I got it for free again. Oh well, works quite well as well actually. It's alright, it's not bad. And the next thing I want to try though is there's a little gizmo I've got, which is for singing. You can plug a microphone in, you can plug a guitar into it. I obviously can't play a frigging guitar, I ain't gonna argue there, but I want to see what it's like, because I've never used this little gizmo, because it was the first one I bought before I used the one I've got now, which plugs straight into the tablet. Well, this one's for the computer, so it might be a little bit more interesting, I suppose. I don't know. I've never used it, don't know what it does. But we'll have a crack at that, and I can, yeah, sort of do that thing. Can't I? Be something different. I don't know. But as far as the phone side of things, though, I mean, it's been fun. I mean, I enjoy doing that. I don't know. I just find it fascinating. There is one thing that I'm, yeah, it's sort of a curiosity as to when I do find one of these phones one day that's going to have something on there that's either going to be the the location of a buried treasure, or it might be something sinister, like, you know. I mean, that's the worrying thing about it. But other than that, it's yeah, it is interesting to see what things are on there. I find it fun anyway. It's just me. And I've got myself a nice little bit of a folder, which is phones from car boot, or phones from the car boot. And then what I do is just transfer everything into that folder with the name of another folder of that particular phone, and just go zap straight over, and then have a good flick through and see what's there, because it's easier to look through the files when it's actually on the computer and he's trying to fanny it through there, because obviously these phones are old. I mean, with this, again, another example, this one here, the cover for the connection there, which is one of those small micro SDs, I've had to spray it with some electrical cleaning fluid just to clean it all out as well. You know, there's been a lot of them where especially the Ericsson ones, like for this one, that's where you connect it to there, but the little terminals, I've had to scrape all the crap off them so they can actually connect and what have you. But this one seems to be the better one of all the Ericssons I've got, which is quite cool. It's a shame the screen's all crap, but hey, as for the works phone, it'll do, you know what I mean? So this one is an actual Vodafone one. This one is it, Ted? It's, I think, yeah, it's a Vodafone. I've got the what was it? BlackBerry Curve. It's an 89. That's another one I've got. 8900, I think it is. The Curve, they call it. Yeah. But I mean, I hadn't looked at that one. I'd bought it, like, it was only a couple of quid again. I'd bought it because these are all in a box on the old car boot, and so I bought that along with 6 others, I think it was, and including that one. And I got home and I was going through all these, and there's ones obviously that I couldn't get into because I got no connections for it. But when I come to the BlackBerry one, I opened it up because it kept on coming with a symbol, which was with a cross through the battery, and because I hadn't quite clicked as to what this cross through the battery, I'm thinking, yeah, it must be the battery must be fucked, like, and I never bothered to open the back up until the following day because I just ignored it and carried on with something else. And when I opened the back up, I went, ah, so that's why there's a big cross to the battery. There ain't a battery in it. But I mean, I've heard stories from a couple of people that says that that particular phone was a bag of crap. But other than that, I don't know. But yeah, that's loud, right? Where's that coming from? But so I went online to see if I can find a battery for it, and sure enough, I found a battery. I've already got a data cable for it because it's another micro SD, so I haven't got to worry about it. No, is that right? That ain't right, is it? A micro. What do they call it? Okay. My brain's just turned off again. I'm tired. That's what it is. I'm just tired. Micro USB. There we are. Wake up. Yeah, micro USB thingamajigget. I've got plenty of them, so I ain't got to worry about that. So I'm looking forward to the battery turning up, so I can shove the battery in it and see that one again. It's another Vodafone one. Seems to be a lot of Vodaphones I'm picking up. Is that telling me something? I wonder. But anyway, I'm looking forward to getting into that one to see what that's like, because until I've got a battery in it, well, you can't access it. So that should be fun. What else is there? I think I've gone through all of them as I know, I think. Oh, obviously apart from the Samsungs. There was one Samsung that I managed to get a lead for, but I'm having issues of getting it to connect to the computer. I've got the data cable, I've got all that, but yeah, it still ain't having it. I'll keep chipping away at it though, because it may wake up at one point and say, righto, I'm here, hello. So there is that. But it's just a matter of trial and error, I think. Trial and error, yeah. What can we dig out of these things? I'm telling you, one of these days, if I carry on, I'll end up with a hidden treasure of some sort somewhere. I mean, with that one with the audio clips, there's only three audio clips on there. One was a bunch of music being played, looks like it must have been playing it on a radio or maybe a sound system of some sort. One was another one playing music and talking to somebody, and then another one was having a conversation about X Factor. So there's a possibility that it may have belonged to somebody who won X Factor. You never know. I mean, these things are possible, however highly unlikely. Can you imagine if I actually come across a phone that has got somebody famous on it who it may have belonged to at one point or another? I mean, yes, it's extremely slim that ever happening, but you never know. Anyway, I've waffled on enough about phones and crap, so I'm gonna go. I'll speak to you a lot later, probably tomorrow or something like that, but yeah. I might even get a chance to have a go at that Detroit game that I bought that I haven't even touched yet. Oh well, see you later, have a good day, tiddle pip and all that, bye, ta-da!